What's going on, guys? Luke22SV here, and we're back for the first round of the career mode of Season 2 here for the Australian Grand Prix off the back of the pre-season where we had the fastest car. Can we come into Australia then and see if we can carry on that performance over into Australia? As we did see, all of the results were based off the first practice session in Australia, so it should be interesting to see if we can actually be quick in qualifying and the race today, for sure. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the pre-season sort of thing. I did a little thing on the F1 2018 Mick Schumacher career mode, but well, yeah, now I did one on this one as well. Probably could have been a little bit better. It was a little bit rushed, but come in here today with all the transfers. Of course, we can see Danny Kvyat's Williams there. How will they do this season? We'll find out in just a moment's time as we go on to our first qualifying session of the season. Our first qualifying lap we're going on now for our banker. See where we are relatively with the rest of the field, and where, well, once everyone sets their first lap time, where we should end up being. Hopefully we can improve off of last season and be in the top half. We've got a new helmet as well here, different colours. Of course, we didn't really change our helmet from when we started out at Toro Rosso, but now we got a new helmet which sort of suits the Alfa Romeo look. We go through the first sector for the first time. A good first sector as well, so we're looking quite strong here. So it's all looking good at the moment in the Alfa Romeo, and very good first sector, purple at that point. So we definitely have got some good pace here at the moment, and now we've just got to see if we can get past these couple of sectors and see if we can, where we end up first. And there's Gasly, who's just set a fast first lap time there, and we're up on that, so it's looking good here as we go through the chicane. A little bit of a cut, but we're onto the grass, out of shape and into the wall and out of qualifying. In the first qualifying session of the season, we put it in the wall, and quite possibly couldn't have got any worse, couldn't have started the season any worse. Cut the chicane a little bit there, but on the exit there we tried to correct ourselves, pointed the wrong way into the wall. Here we go, here's a bit of a slow motion, we just end up onto the grass. Corrected it again, but at this point we were a sitting duck here, and into the wall straight away and out of qualifying. And we're going to be starting the first race of Season 2 from the back of the grid, and definitely not the way we wanted to start the season after such a positive second half to the last season with Alfa Romeo. Hoping to actually been able to fight for more podiums and more wins this season, and starting the season on the back foot. So we'll see what the first qualifying looks like at the end of this sort of clip here. See what the pecking order is looking like as we head into the first race. And you can see Hamilton on pole, but Devon Butler in second for the McLaren, and Lando Norris in fifth. So McLarens are looking very strong, as they did in pre-season. Ferrari back up there as well, third and fourth. Red Bull not looking too happy, and Verstappen down in 10th behind Danny Kvyat's Williams. We're down at the back though of Alexander Albon. So Albon, our former teammates, had a difficult start to the season as well. He's not been able to set a lap time. He'll be starting from the back of the grid as well. So interesting. Valtteri Bottas also not setting a good lap time. He's down there in 8th. The Renault's not looking too strong at the back as well. And well, there's just one of each really. You got Daniel Ricciardo up there quite high. But let's move on then to the start of the first race of the season, and got it all to do in the Australian Grand Prix.
They say that even a second is an eternity in Formula One, so going 4 winter months with no racing at all has seemed a very long time indeed. We're back though in Melbourne, home of the Australian Grand Prix since 1996. It's time to see how our drivers.
So let's have a look on the first grid order then for the 2020 season, Season 2. And it was an immense lap from Lewis Hamilton. Of course, Devon Butler lying alongside him in the McLaren, and the 2 Ferraris would have been on row 2 as well, with Leclerc ahead of Sebastian Vettel. So it was all looking good for Ferrari as well. Lando Norris ahead of Pierre Gasly, and you got Kevin Magnussen up there for Haas, Danny Kvyat, Max Verstappen, Nico Hülkenberg in 10th, Ricciardo and Lucas Faber, our teammates, in 12th. They got both the Renaults on row 7, Grosjean in the Toro Rosso, George Russell, Valtteri Bottas getting a penalty, so he's got it all to do alongside Perez and myself. And then Alexander Albon rounding off the grid then as we start this race then, with those 5 red lights coming on for the first time in Season 2. And we've got it all to do now from P19 on the grid as we're away in Melbourne for the first race of Season 2. And it's a good start from ourselves, and Albon actually looking to get past us as well. So going into turn 1, it's all going to bunch up into turn 1. Albon diving past several cars, making a bit of contact with Russell there. We get a bit out of shape on the inside of turn 1 on the grass. We're down to last place now. So looking towards turn 3, we're going to need to make that similar dive bomb Alexander Albon made. And we do make that dive bomb past a couple of cars there, 2 cars there. We've got signs on the inside of us. and Valtteri Bottas behind us. But now we go around the outside of Sainz and the outside of Grosjean as well. So we've made up 4 places there. And now Albon and Russell going wheel to wheel. Albon's lost out a bit there, so has George Russell. So we've picked up those 2 as well, up to P14 then, off the first lap of the race. So we managed to gain up 6 places, or technically 5, but we lost 1 and then gained another 6. So now we're up to P14 after being P20 for a little bit. And now our next target, Giovinazzi in the Renault. The Renault hasn't looked too good in pre-season and at the start of qualifying as well. Both quite far down on the grid. But now going through the chicane where we had our accident in qualifying, we've closed up on Giovinazzi a lot. And now with a little toe on Giovinazzi, can we get past him into the next corner? And we're thinking about it, diving down the inside, and we do make the move. A little bit of contact, but we've made it through. And our next target is our teammate Lucas Weber. So back where we probably belong in terms of how our performance has been. Lucas Weber not really doing a good qualifying session either. Neither Alfa Romeo in the top 10. So really, both of us need to pick up our performance in this race. But now we're in a perfect position to do that. We gained 7 positions then, or 6, compared to where we started. But here's the replay then of the start. You can see a McLaren on the front row. That just doesn't look right. But there we go. We're going into turn 1. Albon on the inside of us. He just dives past several cars. And we tried to make a move on Valtteri Bottas. Didn't quite work. He got Sergio Perez there as well. And then you can see both the Toro Rossos there as well. Just in front of us, Albon gaining so many positions. We dive past the inside on Bottas and Perez. And he got on the inside. I didn't even notice Grosjean here. But he was on the inside of on Carlos Sainz. We managed to get past both of them. So nice move. And then these two slowed each other down, both Russell and Albon, through turn 5. And we managed to profit that and get past them both before turn 6. And then catching up to Giovinazzi as well. We managed to get past him quite quickly. So it was a very good first lap then for Australia. Definitely doing what we needed to do to gain those positions that we lost in qualifying. And very much just, we could have been in the top 10 at least. I think we had the pace for the top 10 in qualifying, and which is not really where we want to be. We want to be a bit further up than that, because we sort of stagnated a little bit, if that's the case, from season 1. As we dive down the inside of Giovinazzi and take away his position. And our next target is Lucas Weber. So 13th and 12th is where the Alfa Romeo sits after the first lap. But now coming through turn 10 and 11 again. And we can see Lucas Weber, we're closing up on our teammate yet again, just onto lap 2. And are we going to make a similar move we made on Giovinazzi in the last lap? We think about it, but don't want to make too many collisions with our teammate again this season, who we did have a bit of a coming together a few times last season. And definitely want to avoid that this season if we both want to have a successful season. And not making that move this time. Just got to bide our time, and we need to get on with it really if we want to finish high up. As the Hamilton's getting in the way, he's got a hell of a lead over Devon Butler already. But it looks like the McLarens have got good pace as well. So McLarens could be a team to watch out for in this season. Definitely more likely to watch out for them than the Red Bulls at the moment, who are squabbling over the lower midfield, well, the higher midfield positions. And you can see Verstappen's just down the road from us as well. With a battle, and he's just behind Danny Kvyat. So Williams in front of a Red Bull in season 2. That's not really what you expect, but there you go. It's how this game goes, and how the rule changes have probably helped Williams a little bit as well here. But now we need to help ourselves get past Lucas Weber and the rest of these guys, because we're currently getting held up a little bit here. We think about it again, making a move down the inside of Weber, but again, perhaps not the right time to go for a move down there, and just got to bide our time. Wait for DRS to be available, which it is now, and we'll have DRS on this straight. But now we're falling a little bit back. We're going through the chicane to close in again, so we can get that DRS. Can we get close enough to Weber now to perhaps make that move on him? But he's going to have DRS too. We make the move anyway. We're going to dive down the inside, and no contact is made. We force him out, and he gives up the position. So we're up to P12. So this is good stuff from us. This is what we need to do. Try and get our elbows out and just get past these guys. And there's a massive train of cars, though I looks of it, ahead of us, so I'm not sure who's leading this train. It did look like Danny Kvyat was leading this train just a moment ago, but now it looks like it's latched onto another train as we close on to Daniel Ricciardo. Are we going to be able to make a move on the man that's at his home Grand Prix into turn 1? And perhaps not, but maybe turn 3 could be a possibility. And well, he's getting further away again, so perhaps not having the straight line speed compared to these guys. But we think about making a dive bomb again, just getting our nose in there, but it's not quite working out at the moment. So we're going to have to bide our time to get past Daniel Ricciardo. But it's been a good race so far. gaining 7 positions from our starting position, and now we're closing in on those points. You can see points just a couple of positions away, and we can see Ferrari's actually, if it looks like on the mini-map, the Ferrari's actually holding up the McLaren there. So we dive down the inside of Daniel Ricciardo now, so we've made that move stick, we've got up to P11, and that's job done. Now, just 1 position off the points, and that's Max Verstappen, so it's looking good now for us, and realistic for points in this race. Maybe not where the team expect us to be in terms of performance. After last season we progressed so much, becoming the 3rd best car really, being a better team at Red Bull and almost getting ahead of Red Bull in the driver's standings in the end, but at the moment our car just, it looks like it's stagnated a little bit compared to everyone else, where a few other teams have improved a lot, particularly McLaren, who started last season off dreadfully, and of course they improved as well at the end of last season, but now at the start of this season they look on fire, and we're going to have to watch out for them all season. Trying to bridge that gap to Mercedes though, because still looks like Lewis Hamilton is really hungry this season after losing the title to Bottas last season. Bottas starting from the back of the grid though, so not going to see too much from Bottas today, but Hamilton flying away up front, as you can see on the mini-map there. So Mercedes still looking ever so dominant, which is really unfortunate to see, so we'd really like to close that gap towards them, and any other team would really want to close that gap towards Mercedes as well, but at the moment we're still trying to close in on Verstappen, not really getting too close at this point, but now you can see Nico Hülkenberg as well is just down the road. Haas didn't look too strong in pre-season either, but Hülkenberg's looking quite good in this race, and he's actually been overtaken here by Danny Kvyat. A little bit of a battle which could help us close in and perhaps profit from these guys battling. Verstappen looking for an opportunity as well now as we go towards the turn 10 and 11 chicane, and Verstappen looking for a way around Nico Hülkenberg, not being able to find that way. Now can we profit from that? Verstappen's going to be bogged down a little bit like that by that. He sees us coming down on the inside, and we snatch that point away from Verstappen, so great opportunistic stuff from us there to take away the position from Verstappen, putting a Red Bull outside of the points, and really a disappointing start to the season for Red Bull as well, it looks like. And now can we close in on Hülkenberg, who's lost the position to Danny Kvyat, so perhaps Hülkenberg going backwards here. The Haas perhaps not looking as competitive as it was in qualifying. And now can we make a move on him into turn 1? We're looking close, but he's trying to make a move back on Danny Kvyat, who's trying to fight back his position with P8. But we get such a good exit out of turn 1 and turn 2 that we managed to get almost onto the grass, but getting past him almost before turn 3. He outbrakes us a little bit, but we follow through on the brakes and stay in P9 then. So we're up to P9, getting 10 positions off the start in just 6 laps now. Now Danny Kvyat is our next target in the Williams. Williams fighting for points. Danny Kvyat, who replaced me halfway through the season at Toro Rosso, now at a team where they can actually challenge for points. Toro Rosso don't look too good either at the moment. Albon starting from the back, Grosjean being their other driver. So yeah, so perhaps Danny Kvyat has done a good thing to get out of Toro Rosso and join the team that is perhaps pointing towards the front end of the grid now. But on the outside of us is Nico Hülkenberg trying to go back past us. We are saving a bit of ERS there, so he's perhaps trying to use some ERS to try and get past us, but on the outside into that chicane, it's a bit of a risky move, and one that he didn't make in the end. But now we're going to close on Danny Kvyat and try and get close enough to him to make that move and perhaps get up into P8, which is what we would love to do to progress in this race and see if we can get perhaps for a podium today. You can see the Ferraris and the McLaren as well aren't too far down the road. They're still on the same pit straight as them. So now we can get past Danny Kvyat. We can hopefully push on and now push on and potentially grab a podium as we go into turn 1 on the outside and take P8 away from Danny Kvyat. And now moving on to the end of lap 8, we're coming into the pits. So I haven't been able to catch up to Kevin Magnussen at this point. So well, we have to come into the pits and hopefully we'll be able to get a good pit stop and be able to catch up to those guys in front of us, so we can see everyone else coming into the pits and see Gasly just ahead of us, who's made his pit stop already. So perhaps maybe not going to be able to catch up to those guys today. Well, a couple of laps and it looks like they've started to pull away a little bit. That's perhaps fallen back a little bit on us. We come out of the pits now and see going past us is Kevin Magnussen. So Magnussen unfortunately is still ahead of us, but now we're going to push and catch him towards the end of this race, which hopefully we can do with Giovinazzi. Just showing how bad Renault are at the moment is that we've made our pit stop in a 25% race. It's only taken us 8 laps and we're ahead of Giovinazzi and he hasn't pitted yet. But now moving on to lap 10, we're closing in on Kevin Magnussen and potentially, well, it looks like the best position we can ask for now is P7 in this race, because the top 6 guys have managed to sort of spread the gap to Kevin Magnussen. We've had a few bad laps really, not been able to catch up to these guys. Danny Kvyat now falling back, so our only target now is to catch up to Kevin Magnussen and take that position away from him. 1.1 seconds is the gap to Kevin Magnussen, so we're closing in on him as possibly as we can. Hopefully in a few laps time we'll be within striking distance and we'll be able to get that DRS pass and settle for P7. That's really what we can ask for in this race, because everyone else has just zoomed past us. But now a safety car has just come out, so that could change things up. Antonio Giovinazzi is out of his first race for the Renault team, so a bit of disappointment for Antonio Giovinazzi, but an opportunity for now for us in the safety cars come out, so that could help us a lot. If the pack bunches up, can we make a few overtakes for the last couple of laps? Depends when the safety car comes in though, because if it comes in with just a couple of laps to go, then our chances to make an overtake or a couple of overtakes are very limited as well. So here we go then, the safety car is out, and wonder why that has happened. We'll see the onboard with Giovinazzi now. So he's coming down towards the sector 3 part of this track, and his car just slows to a halt and pulls off to the side of the track. And to be honest, we've seen worse incidents and safety cars not brought out and stuff like that, and that happens. But yeah, there you go. We're not going to complain too much about having a safety car here. With just 2 laps to go though, we have very few opportunities to make an overtake on these guys. We've got Pierre Gasly ahead of us, Kevin Magnussen ahead of us, and well, as long as we can get past Magnussen, that'll be definitely a good thing. Maybe we can get past Gasly too. You see Lando Norris and 2 Ferraris ahead, so McLaren looking very strong at the start of this season, which is great to see really. Another team doing quite well, and we're going to start this restart then, see whether we can get past Magnussen quickly enough to make up positions. And now everyone gets underway for these last couple of laps. It's going to be a last couple of laps showdown here in the Australian Grand Prix of Season 2, and we're going to get underway. Sergio Perez is out of the race as well, so he's had an issue further back. But now, getting a toe off of Kevin Magnussen, going towards turn 1. Can we make the overtake on the outside? We're going to go for it on the outside of turn 1 on Kevin Magnussen. We make it stick, and we're up into P7, so great move there. But Kevin Magnussen's going to fight back here, going towards turn 3. Going to the outside now, and on the outside it locks up, so he can't make that move back past us. Now we're going to chase off the Pierre Gasly and see if we can catch up with him or not. And this is going to be like a mirror of the whole Season 1 sort of season, perhaps just being behind Pierre Gasly until the end of the race. But can we make it different this time? Can we get past him? He's currently 1 second ahead of us, so we need to get within, well, a second really, but the DRS is not going to be activated, so just to be close enough to try and make an overtake on him, but just running out of opportunities here. We need to get our nut down and just try and get close enough to him, and really we've got to have a good couple of sectors, because we have very limited opportunities, perhaps into turn 1 and turn 3 of next lap, and perhaps onto this corner on next lap as well. So yeah, very little opportunities to get past Gasly now. We need to be really hurrying it up now, but perhaps Gasly's a little bit too far away from us, but we'll have to try and see how we do on the last lap as we close in now. And we actually have closed in a little bit there, but he's closing in on a bit of Lando Norris as well, and Norris is a bit closed in on the Ferrari, so it could be all to play for on this last lap. Can they slow each other down? Can there be an incident in front of us which could help us? And we go on to the last lap then of this race in P7 from P19, so we gained 12 places off the start. Can we make it 13? That would be an awesome result in our first race of the season, despite having such a poor qualifying. But at the moment it's just looking like we're not going to be able to get close enough to Pierre Gasly, unfortunately. Haven't got the ERS to just get close enough to him, haven't got the fuel to get close enough to him. We're trying everything we can, seeing how the tyres are doing. We're almost tempted to go in for softs when the safety car came out, but we'd have just ended up too far back. So we've made the right decision to stay out. If there was a bit of a gap, we could have perhaps gone onto the softs, but either way, this is probably the best choice we made today. But the Alfa Romeo is just not quick enough at this point to compete with these guys. So we're probably about 5th best as it looks like at the moment. The Red Bull and the McLaren ahead of us, along with the Ferrari and the Mercedes. And getting it all out of shape there as well. So almost putting it into the wall on the last lap of the race. And yeah, we need to work a little bit harder to move in front of these guys, because we're currently 5th best by the looks of it. and we're just struggling to catch up with Gasly and the McLarens. So hopefully in a few races time we'll be able to bring some upgrades and be able to show these guys that we can actually compete for podiums more often, as Hamilton wins the first race of the season and doing everything he needed to do in this race to cross the line in P7. Not the result we wanted, and not the result that's on our contract to do either. So we have to work on that, because at the moment Alfa will probably sack us because we're not being able to deliver fantastic results in what isn't a car that is very good at the moment. And of course PS2 Toto Wolff is very happy with that as well. And 2 Brits on the podium, Leclerc 3rd. So great result for Devin Butler as well. He's going to start looking good as well this season. We're going to have to watch out for him as well. So definitely a good result for them. And yeah, there you go. Hamilton getting the fast lap of the race as well, so he's on 26 points. Weber got in the points as well, so both Alphas in the points, so we can't complain too much about that. Verstappen having a nightmare first race, Bottas in 12th, so both McLarens being able to score points, both Ferraris as well. So who's going to be leading the constructors at this point? It's actually McLaren leading the constructors after round 1 from Ferrari, and then Mercedes. We're down in 5th, so that's probably where we'd expect to be. Haas in 6th, Williams also scoring. So a good start to the season in terms of the race, but we can definitely get better than that in the next few races. Hopefully we can bring some upgrades towards Bahrain and China, definitely move us up further. But for now though, that's going to be the end of the episode. Bahrain will be uploaded very soon as well, so hope you enjoyed it today. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys very soon for round 2.